Alright, guys. We're going to talk about this, and we're going to use code words because YouTube demonetizes people. So over the weekend, we would have heard, or you would have heard about this story where Joe Rogan went out and he got himself COVID, right? And the left was celebrating because it's the left, but the left was celebrating because he had COVID. And he said in his video that he chucked the kitchen sink at COVID. He used a certain dewormer. Either something is we would ask something. And at the end of the day, he went through and he basically got over COVID within 2 or 3 days. Now, obviously, before we start the story, I am not providing medical advice. My interest in this is regarding the fake news that came out about it. So, he went out and he talked about this Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Farscape lately. And at the end of the day, he got over COVID within pretty couple of days. And then, as soon as he started talking about this, we started hearing this story about how this hospital was Oklahoma hospital was turning patients away because they had gunshots because of this overdosing. People were overdosing on this and basically they were overdosing on this dewormer that sometimes is used to relieve COVID symptoms. And because of that, they went through and they were apparently turning away gunshot victims. And the left was furious. Now, at the end of the day, the funny thing about it, the left never really thought about this much. Because if you think about it, do you think a hospital is going to turn away gunshot victims because someone's overdosing on a dewormer? What out of those two do you think the hospital is going to give more priority to? And I always thought it was a little bit weird because of the whole dewormer thing, and I was like, no. Look, I was thinking, look, the hospital is going to go through, and it's going to go through and it's going to give preference to the gunshot victim. So to me, it didn't make any sense. But it all started mostly, I think it was actually from Rolling Stone. So bastion of news journalists there, and basically they ran the story. And I to be honest, I think it was a try and scare tactic. We're going to cover that in a sec, but at the end of the day, it seems to me like it was they were trying to put the fear of God, so to speak, into regarding this popular dewormer. But at the end of the day, it's it was an interesting story. But obviously, since then, it's come out that the media was pronounced fake news, and that the hospital was not turning away gunshot victims. In fact, the Rolling Stone publisher offers a apology or a tacit apology for false UVA story. So, as discredited story about that's something else. Sorry, that was something else. But yeah, the Oklahoma hospital. I thought that was regarding this. It wasn't. Oklahoma hospital. That's another thing the Rolling Stones had to retract. Oklahoma hospital system denies claims of gunshot victims left to wait as staff overwhelmed with overdose on horse dewormer. So the Northeast Hospital System, Chute, has issued the following statement. Although Dr. Jason Emilini is not an employee of the NHS CQO, he is affiliated with a medical staffing group that provides coverage of our emergency room. With what Dr. Ethe has worked out soiling location in over two has not worked at our Soling location in over 2 months. NSE Sick Wing has not treated any patients due to complications regarding taking this popular dewormer. This incident this includes not treating any patients for overdose. All patients who have visited our emergency room have received medical attention as appropriate. Our hospital has not had to turn away any patients seeking emergency care. We want to reassure our community and our staff is working hard to provide the health care to all patients. We appreciate the opportunity to clarify the issue as always. So the original story was that Southeast Oklahoma, a rural Oklahoma doctor said patients who are taking the dewormer to fight the coof are causing emergency room and ambulance backups. The reason you have a doctor to get a prescription for this stuff because it can be dangerous. Or anything can be dangerous in overdosing amounts. Dr. Ennis said patients are packing his eastern and southeastern Oklahoma hospitals after taking the popular dewormer doses meant for a full-size horse. But because they believed the false claim, the horse dewormer could fight the coof. The ERs are also backed up that gunshot victims were having hard times getting facilities where they can get definitive care and be treated, he said. So that's what he claimed, and that even the hospitals come out and debugged it and said, no, look, this is not right. Now, one of the reasons that people are floating, and not me, but other people, is that if you mention this Iva it'll upset the vaccine rollout, right? Because like if there was a cheap drug alternative, and it's so old the patent had expired, so safe that the WHO listed it as essential and children's medicine and used in mass drug administration rollouts, it can be taken home with the first signs of COVID, symptoms, given to those in close contact, and significantly reduce the diagnosed progression and cases, according to them, not me, YouTube. So yeah, it's an interesting theory that at the end of the day, the reason why they're trying to make this horse dewormer a little bit unpopular, and they're putting out fake stories is it definitely could upset the vaccine rollout. Now, it's not just in the US either, even in Australia. A regulator warns Australians against using antiparasitic medication to treat COVID. A growing number of people are importing an unproven treatment of coof, prompting warnings from the National Pharmaceutical Regulator. The Goods Administration, TGA, has warned people against using the antiparasitic medication, or the horse dewormer, use things like scabies, mites, and worms. The Therapeutic Goods Administration, part of the Department of Health, has detected increased importation and prescriptions of the drug for and obviously treating the coof. The regulators said that in a statement. So it's interesting that they go through and they, even in Australia. Now, obviously, CNN has come out and they obviously ran the story because they're the people that you can trust when it comes to news stories, right? That's their motto. You can trust us, sort of thing. But they've attempted to defend the false allegations. Instead, they've decided to attack the right for proving them wrong. It's like shooting the messenger, really. But after Rolling Stone, Rachel Maddow and many progressives of well-known media brands and personalities advanced a ludicrous story from Oklahoma, solely from a doctor in the state who has said multiple hospitals in the area were being overwhelmed with patients who had taken either overdose. CNN's Daniel Dale rode to the rescue of the left to whom it is very important to believe lots of dumb people are overdosing on the horse dewormer. In a series of tweets, Dale immediately criticised the outlets who advanced this false story, but suggested that those who printed out the story was unsupportive by an evidence should do a little soul searching because our gotchas lacked the full and proper context. So here's the full and proper context. Ethe is completely safe for humans, has been for about 50 years, and is actually used for treating humans as well as some cattle and horses and stuff like that. But so's your headache medication. I believe it's ibuprofen. I think it is. It's one of the medications that used for headaches is also used in cattle as well and horses as well. So at the end of the day, if you want to claim that Ethe, I can't say the name because YouTube will ban this video. But if you think that's only for horses and it should only be used for horses, then you better not pop a Panadol, so to speak. So at the end of the day, it's safe to use. It's been approved for human use. As for what it does to the beer bug, I'm not a doctor. I have no idea. Talk to your doctor. Go see your pharmacist. Go see your doctor. But at the end of the day, I find it very, very interesting that the left jumped on this false story that this popular dewormer was causing a backup at hospital, considering the fact that, like I said, it didn't make any sense. Because at the end of the day, if the hospitals are going to treat anybody, it's going to be the gunshot victims rather than people that are overdosing on dewormer. Right? To me, that would be logical sense. To me, guys bleeding out, gunshot wound, or someone's taken a bit too much of a horse dewormer, which do I treat first? To me, it's going to be the gunshot. But I'm no doctor, right? So maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, it ended up being proved to be a fake story. And the media definitely has a lot of egg on their face regarding this. It's very interesting to see all the people that were talking about it back in over the weekend have suddenly stopped talking about it. All the people that were going on about Joe Rogan and this Ethe, I can't say the name, remember. It was interesting the people that were going on about this dewormer have all of a sudden gone very, very silent. So, yeah. Interesting, isn't it? I also know, I think, so don't quote me on this, but I'm also pretty sure that Luke Boner was saying on his show that he's tried to get a doctor that came on that was talking about the benefits of using this dewormer, and he was told he wasn't allowed on the show, or the guy got spooked and wouldn't come on, or something like that. I have to check with Luke about that. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's definitely interesting that the media jumped on it so hard and ended up being a complete fake story. But I'm not surprised, because it's the media and they get caught faking things all the time. But it does make you wonder, why? Why did they fake it? And to me, I think the reason they faked it might be a little bit relating to that. That's what I think it is. That it's a cheap drug alternative, and yeah, I think it can definitely upset that. Because let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Obviously, if this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.